We laughing our way today into this show world. I'm your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, and I am elated today. Actually, we've had the opportunity to already hang out, and I'm going to introduce my girl. We have some things in common besides the fact she is highly educated, right? Law degree. Well, let me just say Brown University. Then we'll go with law degree. Jill, and I told her, I said, let me get this last name right. Salzman.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, Jill, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Thanks for having me. Already the energy is good and we're on screens.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
You can't even imagine if this was in person.
But here's the thing. We had the opportunity to talk about family and having rules. And I shared with you that 70% of my audience is female. And
ladies.
Yeah, what's up, ladies? So we decided, because this is our first episode for 2021, that we're going to focus on the ladies.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing is you're the founder. Now, this is a tongue twister. You're the founder of the Founding Moms.
Yes,
right?
Well done. You got it.
Tell me, what do you do with the Founding Moms?
I would love to. We are a whole lot of women. Hey, what's up, ladies? Who are all running a business. They've got kids. The majority of our members have kids who are older or grown. We got a lot of grandmas, but we are all women who are either running a business and looking for emotional support, community, some way that we can connect, because we've been working a lot at home. Particularly in 2019 and 2020. We also are women who love getting educated about marketing and branding and sales, because nobody talks about that stuff, right? And I'm getting you excited. I'm getting you excited because it's so exciting to people like you and me, but a lot of people are really good at focusing on what they do best. So we have tons of coaches and consultants and lawyers and accountants and real estate agents and people who they went into doing it because they're really good at it, but they don't know so much about social media. They don't know so much about branding. And so we teach them.
You know what? I am actually amazed, because I thought more people knew about it. But then I have to go back to probably how we were both raised. We were probably raised in households that people had one or two jobs, but they learned a trade or a skill or a craft, and it lasted them until the day that they retired. And I'll go back to 1996 when I earned my MBA degree in marketing. And today's marketing is not 1996 marketing, right? And we didn't have to use technology. Right. In the 90s, right? None of this stuff, right, was out at that time. So when we start thinking about these founding moms, and I think about realtors who are licensed sales agents, brokers, managing brokers, a lot of them, not only do they not know the marketing aspect, they have no idea the foundation of being an entrepreneur.
Yes, it is. It is a whole different world than I think a lot of people expect or make up in their minds that happens in the entrepreneurial world before they go and they join it. And when they get there, they go, oh, this is different. This is different than corporate. This is different than what I've told myself it was or what I read about with those overnight successes. It's different. It's
so not only do you have a whole bunch of bad women, right? Cold-blooded women over in the Founding Moms, you're also the author of the best business book in the world. Did I say all that right?
You sure did. It is. The full title, though, is the best business book in the world, according to my mom.
According. I love your mom.
Please put that whole thing in there. But yeah, I write a 5 days a week, so kind of daily newsletter that goes out full of anecdotes, stories, tips and tricks, how to do business better. And every single time I write a good one, I know it's good because people will write back and say, I loved that one. So my book is a compilation of all of these emails, and they're broken up into different subject areas, but it's just fun stories. One of them is about Herbie Hancock. Another one of them is about my own daughter coming up with a business of her own. So it's just lots of stories, and I am famous for talking about my mistakes. So a lot of those are included as well. I
So
love.
let's talk about these mistakes.
Oh
It's
man, oh, sure,
2021,
all
right?
day, all
Right,
day.
right. It's
Yeah, yeah,
2021.
right.
So as a mom, what
Mhm.
would you tell another mom or female what not to do first in business?
Oh, there's a long laundry list.
I know, just pick. We're in a modern day society. You need to revamp your game.
I'm going to
It's
tell you right now, the number one thing to not do, and maybe this is because it's my biggest pet peeve, don't act or try to look like you are bigger than you are. Do not sign your emails with the X corporation. Do not. Stay personable, stay transparent, stay vulnerable. It's 2021. We all want to know you. Is there a reason everybody loves to watch Marky? Yes, because we get to know you. I can't stand when people think they have to look more important than they are. And by the way, no one is more important than they are.
you know what, that perception is reality thing, I think is highly overrated, because a lot of people tell me, Marky, how do you get to be you
Mm,
every single day at work? I think one, it comes with a level of confidence, like identifying who you are and
yeah.
understanding you're miserable when you're not your true authentic self, right?
Yeah.
And I even have Markyism. I have my own language, right? And I admit I have my own language. But what you can't take away, and maybe your mom might have told you this too, right? They can't take them degrees away, right? So
Yeah.
once you get them,
Yeah.
you've accomplished that. And this, you can say what you want to say, and
Yeah.
can't nobody take that part away, right? And so I love that. Don't be bigger than what you are. So now let's say, and let me say this, in the world of real estate, that 80-20 rule applies, where 20% of the industry is earning 80% of the money.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who are getting ready to sell real estate. What is one action you believe people should take right now? Like, as soon as they stop listening to our wonderful voices, they need to go implement this right now.
I want to challenge everybody to go as soon as you hang up, or whatever they're doing with us, uh, and check out how many people are on your mailing list. Check out how many people you email. Check out how you email them. What's the frequency? What's the content? Make it better. Email is so powerful. Some people believe it's far more powerful than anything you do on social media. It's completely changed a lot of businesses that I've seen in the Founding Moms, where, and again, this ties into don't be more important than you actually are. Email your potential customers and clients. Let them know what you're looking for. Let them know what you need. Let them know what they should be doing, reaching out to you, asking questions, buying things, whatever it is. Check out that email list, because that is gold. And I think a lot of people overlook it or think, I'll get there, I'll make it at some point. And it's really, as a small business owner, as a realtor, it's really important. Really important. I don't know if actually you believe the same thing, Marky, but that's pretty
Oh,
strong in my world.
let me say this. I do a lot of email marketing. Well, let me say this. I
I
am
get your email.
consistent with my email marketing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I used to mail once per week. Now I mail every other week. And
Okay.
we are still maintaining and still seeing engagement. What I recently realized was that I'm getting a higher click-through rate
Mhm.
on Linktree on Instagram than I am getting through my email marketing. I'm
Oh,
almost at a 30% click through rate
interesting.
on Instagram. And so, but
Nice.
guess what? But here's the beautiful thing, which is kind of crazy. I'm still putting them back into my customer relationship management system
Yeah.
and emailing to them, right? And so I believe in that. Yeah, I believe in the customer relationship management system. And I noticed that a lot of people get caught up in the tools. And I tell them, when I go back to starting business, I just had an Excel spreadsheet. It wasn't even Excel at the time. I can't even tell you what it is. It was
Right.
something like it, right? You have to collect that data, and you have to provide some form of communication, right, with them consistently. So I like the fact that we need to go back and look. I like the fact that you mentioned mail. What should
Oh,
we be mailing?
well, I really meant email,
Oh, you
but
really? It's okay.
did the E drop off because You can mail things if you want to. I don't know what you want to be mailing, but to me, it's like the emailing I'm suggesting is the modern version of the mail way, that we all reach out to each other and let each other know. Because I think the thing that people forget, and it's probably happening with your link tree on Insta, people just forget how to connect. They're so lost in building their own business, and they forget, wait, the whole reason I'm doing this is to offer value to a customer and a client. And so the only way I can remind them that I'm here, I exist, I have value that they want, is to just ping them. And even if, they didn't ask you for that email, they didn't ask you for that Insta post, it's your job to continue to remind them, because they're never going to ask you. There are too many of us out there, right? So if you can do that artfully, if you can do that as real as Marky is, I feel like you represent what so many people need to do and are scared to do, because they don't think that they're good enough yet, or they haven't earned enough money yet, or they haven't sold a business yet, or whatever excuse they've made up. They don't need to do that. Just be like Marky. We're all going to be like Marky.
All the lies we tell ourselves, right? I mean, because look, I'm still getting ready to do some things, right? Based on lies that I've told myself. And I remember my mother told me, she says, Marky, I need you to dream big like Oprah.
Yes.
Imagine, and think about it. Oprah wasn't getting ready, but she clearly wasn't the Oprah, right, that she is today. She had very humble beginnings. She had a hard childhood. Yet she still took those steps to do what no other woman of color has done before her. Right. So you got to get those lies out of yourself. Now, one thing you said was provide value. In the world of real estate, I see a lot of real estate agents. All they do is post photos of their listings.
No.
Can you? Yeah. It's ridiculous, utterly ridiculous, right? And I'm just gonna say this for those watching the video, because they might have just saw this. I have on Zoom makeup, right? So you see these floating? This Zoom makeup. So I just want the world to know the Zoom got Zoom makeup, right? But it's virtual. So if you put your cup up to your mouth, anything, right, your lips start to float. And I just had to point that out.
Doesn't work. You do.
Yeah. Because you have all natural, beautiful lips. So in providing value, what is one way you have seen women do a good job? Just a tip in any business area that a real estate agent could do to provide value.
I was going to say, if we're talking about the real estate agent that's continually posting the listings, I want to walk them through, well, if I'm looking for something to buy and I see your post of listing, that's lovely, but I'm not going to be communicating with the listing and the piece of property to do the sale, right? I'm communicating with you. So if I don't have a sense of you, and I don't have a sense of, well, I trust that she's posting stuff that's fantastic, I need to trust you. And the only way I'm going to trust you is if I get to know you. So I want you to be much more conversational. If you're like, I don't know what to post, which a lot of people go through, look at other people doing it, just like Marky. Look at how they're communicating themselves. And I know a lot of realtors are probably going, but I'm not important. The property is. It's not about me. And unfortunately, if you're in business, it is about you. It's all about you. You're the one I'm going to be paying, right? Technically speaking, maybe not, but you're the one I'm trusting to do the business with. So I want to be able to trust you, love you. I will listen to every word you say, the more that I appreciate the value you offer.
Appreciate the value of what you offer. Okay, I like that. I like that.
And you could talk about, like, what should they post if they don't post a listing?
Right. Well, I tell them all the time what to post, but I need other people to tell them, because clearly they think that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? And I just had a video that has raised $1 for every video view, and it's been viewed over 50,000 times. And so I understand how to be vulnerable, and being vulnerable doesn't make you weak, right? And I'm telling them to tell the true story. And, a lot of people have privacy hangups. And first of all, there is no real privacy today. I'm going to leave that alone.
No such thing on the internet anymore.
Right. Nope. And so when we start thinking about that, right, you need to show up and just tell your story. And keep in mind, your story isn't everyone's story, right? Even when I argue with my husband, I'll say, according to me, okay? Because he probably got a whole different side
Right.
of the story. And they just keep dropping these. And let me say this, according to a listing agreement, they are supposed to market the property. However, they never market themselves as a human being in
So why can't
between.
they market the property themselves so they can market the property and themselves? If
They
you are
they can, but they haven't found the ability
yeah.
to I guess tap into that voice. And I'm like, but you're the person with all the knowledge. You're the person who's done all these transactions. And what I'm telling them now that I think pisses them off, especially the seasoned professionals, right? Technology will never replace a realtor. However, a realtor with technology will replace one without it. So you're allowing the next generation to come in who has technology, and they are taking your market share because of your inability to leverage the technology or tell your story. And the generation behind us, when I'm looking at body shaming issues, sexuality, I mean, they putting it all out there, you know, and I'm like, go, because I wouldn't put them stretch marks out there. Like, I'm going to put a spank on it first. I'm going to put my little leggings up to my breast, right? Because I'm going to cover it. I might show you the curves, but I ain't going to show you the marks, right? They put them all out there. And I'm like, man, good for you. Because, I still come from a generation that's unwilling to do that. But if I did it, I would connect with even more women because so many more have stretch marks.
But that's a way to break it down. I don't think you are in the business of needing to show your stretch marks in order to do what you do. But I love to tell folks that back in the day, when I first started out in business, I dyed my hair super dark, flat ironed it, only wore black, looked very proper. And when I walked into a room, I thought, everyone's going to take me really seriously because I'm a real business person now. And I didn't realize for years, I just got lost in the shuffle. I looked like everybody else. And when you look like everybody else, you could look lovely and look like a business person, but there's no reason for me to join forces with you, to want to trust you, to do business with you if you're just like everyone else. So I one day didn't do my hair before I did an interview. I thought it was an audio interview. So I just let my hair go curly. Turned out it was a video interview. And when I did it, I noticed a lot more people, and this sounds so superficial, but there's a point here. A lot more people going, oh my God, I love your natural hair. And I was going, you do? Then I'm never going to do my hair again. Then I stopped wearing the fancy clothes, in which you can't see, and I can't kick that high. I only ever wear pattern leggings now. Only ever, always. If it's a very professional business meeting, pattern leggings. I'm never doing my hair again. I only wear pattern leggings. I only wear Nike Dunks. There's no heels in this life anymore. But I tell you all of that because over time, oh my God.
I only wear comfortable shoes that have color and give me life.
Wait, the whole reason I'm telling you this is not to gloat that I don't have to shower so much anymore. It's more because the more relaxed in myself that I've been over time, the more money I have made. There's literally a direct correlation to people going, oh my God, she's just like me? Oh, then I can do this. So if people can relate to me, they're much more likely to join the founding moms, right? And go, oh, she's just a mom entrepreneur doing her thing. I'm going to join her. The same can happen for you who is watching. Just be yourself. We're going to have a much easier time connecting with you. And then we're going to want to not only do business with you, but maybe hang out.
I love it. And I have on leggings too. But these are just black today. Look, not only are they just black today, they're Costco.
All right.
Like $14.99. And I've never been more comfortable in my life. Actually, I'm having discussions with myself because I'm like, how do you go back on the road after being at home for a year and being 100% comfortable, right? All the time, comfortable.
All the time.
They said that bra sales have gone down 20% during COVID.
Really?
Yes. People aren't buying bras and shaving cream. Actually, they say shaving cream is at its lowest sales in history.
You're blowing my mind because I think that translates to people aren't wearing bras at home, which
Well,
always
here's
goes
the
through.
problem.
Not
Here's the problem, because what they said in the world of real estate is that we now have a group of people who are 100% essentially too comfortable. And they think they don't have to wear a bra. See, to me, I wouldn't have any business. Like, let me say this. I might not put on real lipstick every day, but I'm gonna get up and put on a real bra. Like if
yeah,
I don't do
where I'm
nothing
not
else,
you. What is this not wearing a bra thing even?
yeah, yeah, I'm like, what kind of business are you transacting? Because I need to put on the bra to feel. I need to look. I can put the leggings on.
Then we get into boobs. Then we get into the sizes. Then we get into the whole like, what are you carrying here? And I am not an A cup. Let's just put it that way. That's so funny because you're also making me realize how much business we've all done for months, not knowing the height of the person or like what their lower half looks like. You know what I mean? Like all we're doing is here and up. It's very funny because when we all go back out in the world, we're all not going to recognize one another.
Well, we're not going to recognize one another. And I will tell you, the people who I have seen versus how they look online is totally different. It's totally different. And so I've seen some people, what they can do to make this look one way.
Right.
Versus how they look when you see the full version of them is totally different. But we are telling you should put on a bra to conduct business in the virtual world.
Put a bra on, that's going to help you offer good value.
Yes, it is. So now we've talked about being your true authentic self, right? And we talked about email marketing. What is another business tip or strategy they can implement? Because changing who they are, they're going to have some dialogue with themselves. They might even need some therapy. I've been through therapy. I've been through Landmark. I mean, like I've been to counseling.
There's a lot of self-growth involved in that.
Yeah.
And it takes years for some people. Yeah.
But what should we focus on in 2021 from a business aspect?
I mean, 2021, I think everyone should always be about the customer experience. And so what a lot of people end up forgetting to do is explore what it's like to be involved with you from the customer's perspective. That could mean you ask your mama, you ask your kiddo, you ask a friend to walk through landing on your website. Where do they end up clicking? How do they end up contacting you? What's the process after they reach out to you? Do they get emails that are followed up? Is it all phone? You don't truly know what your potential customers and clients are experiencing unless you walk yourself through it. So it's a really fun exercise to do if you want to be your own customer and land on your website, go to wherever the starting point is that people get in touch with you. Maybe it's Instagram, and follow it all the way through to a sale and see if there are holes, rooms for improvement, things people are missing. My favorite one to point out is that a lot of people put a contact form on their website and that form goes nowhere because they didn't hook it up right or because the developer screwed up. And so I'm busy emailing Marky, and she has, not that you have this, Marky, but if you were one of the people I'm talking about, I would email you. You would have absolutely no idea that I ever contacted you. And then I think you ignored me. And then I think that you don't want to do business with me, and I move on to the next person. So it's tiny little bits and pieces to pick up from the process you offer to people. That's really helpful to know about, to change, to improve upon, etc.
So what I hear you saying is add a contact form that actually connects to a person.
Yes, and in fact, contact forms. You should do that, but just put your email address on the website. Although I don't know what the rules and regs are for realtors.
They could do that.
I just want to email you. I don't want to fill out a form.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. Now, what is your social platform that you're focusing on in 2021?
Yeah, it's not personal. It's for biz. Facebook is where we mom entrepreneurs love to live. So while I love Instagram and Twitter very much, the majority of the women that I work with they just live on Facebook, so I'm going to be growing stuff there. I've never done any paid ads there, so I'm going to explore that this year. A year of growth. There's always more to learn because they keep changing the algorithms.
Now, you know what's funny? When I think about you focused on
Mm,
Facebook, I know that 70% of my audience is female, but it's
mm,
also my oldest audience, 45 to 54.
mm.
So everything you said at the beginning
Yeah.
correlates to that you're dealing with women, some are grandmoms, a little older professional
Yep.
female, and that means that Facebook is their jam. Now if I was to go over to Instagram, slightly, I'm 68% female over there,
Okay.
but it is 35 to 44 is my number one age category that's a little younger, right?
Yeah.
And so just for me, when I'm telling people about their business growth, even though your business is all about you, when we start thinking about that social connection, you're
Mm.
not going to make you're not going to make the Facebook user switch to Instagram, right?
Right.
So therefore we have to go and hang out
Yeah.
where they are, right? You
Totally.
know what? Oh, party over there. Some people not going to come clear across town to hit
Yeah.
two parties, right? We gotta get in the car and we gotta drive to all the different parties,
Yes.
right? And I
Find a lot of people resist that. I like that. Do you find that a lot of people resist doing that because they like another platform better?
well, do resist.
Resist going to Facebook because that's where all their clients, potential clients are.
Yes, and that's what I had to tell them. I said it's not. Well, first of all, let's just step back. When they talk about like, should I use TikTok? And I'm asking them, well, who's your ideal client?
Oh,
So then they're like, well, and they look at me dumbfounded. I'm like, oh, to me, that's stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. I'm
yeah.
not going to go and implement TikTok if I'm not trying to attract TikTok users, right? And so
Yeah.
oftentimes in real estate, they don't know where to start, right?
I see.
And
I
they
see.
go to another platform and then they think they're going to get that 50-year-old woman from Facebook and just mandate she come over to TikTok in order to see their content.
That's
They're not going to do
interesting. I
that.
never even heard
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. So no, it's a lot of people who think that they're going to change a person's mind about where that person is hanging out because they picked the wrong place to hang out.
Interesting. Well, that says to me they're not getting to know their customers and clients very well. Because if
Say it
they,
again. Say it again.
well, if you're not asking your customers and clients where they hang out, you're not in touch with your customers and clients. You're not going to get the money. That's as simple as it is.
And that's what I tell them all the time. Where are your clients hanging out? If you're selling $1 million houses, right?
Yeah.
The likelihood is, I want to say the average household income is $400,000.
Hmm.
When do you get a bunch of people making $400,000, right? It's not fresh out of college, okay?
Right. Right.
It's later in life. So then
Yeah.
there's a certain age, right, and a certain occupation. So that should tell you where you should be hanging out based on the price point of the
Yeah.
house.
And you can also just ask the people. Just people are so scared to ask others. Oh, are you looking for a house? What social media outlet's your favorite? People love to talk about themselves. Ask them about themselves. Write it down and start tallying and noticing. Everybody keeps saying Facebook. I should be on Facebook.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, you know it. You know it.
So you also speak about how to turn customers and clients into super fans,
Yes.
right? How does one get a person to become a super fan?
I talk about that a lot because I used to work in New York City at Elektra Records, and I was in the A&R department finding the hottest new bands. So if anybody watching has heard of Jason Mraz, I know I'm dating myself and you might hate him, but I'm the reason he got signed. I'm very excited to tell you that. I never saw any royalties from that. I cry when I hear him in Starbucks, but that was my job for a little while. So I got to watch all these artists who had their own fan bases. And, there was Missy Elliott was on the label. There was Metallica on the label. Very different audiences for each band. So I just got to watch and learn what did these artists do to create super fans who would buy every ticket, every CD, follow them around, all the merch, and just to figure out what made folks tick. And I have since applied it to several businesses I've run. I constantly tell other people, the more you can pay attention to not only where your customer hangs out on social media, for example, and they say Facebook, but paying attention to all of the follow-up that a lot of people don't do. If you nail the follow-up game, you're way ahead of the curve. You're way ahead of the pack. Because, for example, there are a lot of people in the world who sell a product, any kind. Could be a book, could be a tchotchke for your shelf. And somebody buys it, and that's the end of the transaction. But if you write a little thank you note and include it with it, it's a tiny gesture, seemingly takes 2 seconds to do, makes a huge difference to that customer who could end up becoming a repeat customer because there's so much joy in shopping with you. So if as a realtor, your job is to introduce me to property and potentially sell it to me, right? There are probably ways beforehand, afterwards, that you can pay attention and interact with said customer or client where you're following up a lot. You're maybe sending gifts at holiday times. You're becoming their favorite person in a way where they are a super fan of yours and they're going to think of you first every single time they need a piece of property or they have a friend who needs a realtor and they want to recommend you.
What's kind of funny, the other day, a young lady, she passed her managing broker's exam, and I went over to her page and I congratulated her. And her response back to me is, Marky, I am such a super fan of yours. The fact that you took the time to congratulate me means everything.
Yeah.
And so what I've been doing lately, I'm strategically just going over and not posting on my page, but interacting with other people on theirs to give them some attention. And then for my scholarship that's ran by a foundation, I tell them to send me everyone who's made a donation, and I send all of them a handwritten note. And then as we award the scholarship, I let them know where this money is going.
Yes.
Right. Because
that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah. But there's one person, his name is Andy. He runs the Chicago Real Producers. And another guy, John, who wrote Giftology. I'm looking at the book on the phone. When I tell you they've done the most fabulous things, and I can pull this out, which is kind of crazy. I flew back to Chicago to do a panel for him. And so he sent me $100 Ravinia gift certificate, right? Now, here's the thing. You would have to go on Facebook and see a post to know that I love Ravinia, okay? He also sent me luggage tags that have my retirement date on them, which is September the 25th, 2033, because I mentioned it on the panel. And he sent me, now mind you though, I didn't charge him for this panel though. And he sent me 6 boxes of my favorite Lamb's wipes. That lets me know he was listening.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, he was listening, like the elation, right?
You're going to remember him for a long time. Yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'll see those luggage tags probably for life, right? Because that is the date that I am scheduled to.
Yeah. I didn't know that date. That's amazing that you have a date.
Nail the follow-up game. I'm look, that's a t-shirt. Nail the follow-up game. So Jill, I know that you have you have the Founding Moms, you have books, you speak, you train, you coach. I mean, like you do every freaking thing.
That's a lot.
But let me tell you something. Going to law school and graduating from Brown University, just speaks volumes. How does one connect with you and do business with you?
I would love to connect with anybody and everybody that you know. You just got to go to foundingmoms.com. Everything is there. Or I'm at Founding Mom pretty much on every platform. I think maybe it's plural, Founding Moms on Facebook. But otherwise, just come find me. I'm Founding Mom, or I'm Jill at foundingmoms.com. My email, come find me.
Come find it. Come find Jill. Do business with Jill. For all my ladies out there, all my real estate professionals, because there are more women in the world of real estate than there are men. Right. You have a group over here that will support you as a woman entrepreneur. And because the average age of a realtor, I think, is 53 this year, this group would be ideal for you. Get that additional support as a female entrepreneur. Yes. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate you for your time and your high energy.
And I love your sass. I love it.
Thank you. See you guys soon.